And are you refreshed? Can you hear us clearly? Esther's microphone is in her ear instead of better. Now what? You've been talking to one another, haven't you? Sometimes we point over there and they come from over there.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. I've been using the daily workbook, and I love it. I find that it adds so much, and I'd like to refine how I do it and make it deeper. Like when I look at the section on things to do, I find that I'm not really interested in action things to do, but more like whether if I'm feeling I should be doing a focus wheel or letting go or some sort of process or reading more. So I'd like to use the daily workshop much more deeper than I'm doing now. Mm-hmm.
Well, over time, we've offered so many processes that it is interesting to watch anyone who's been listening to us for a while, because if you were really trying to apply every process that we've given you, you would have to give up eating, going to work, most other aspects of life, because there are a lot of them. The reason that every process was offered to you, in every case, was to help you to close the gap between who you really are and what's in your vortex and where you are. So we're going to be very kind as we offer these words and make a little fun of ourselves in the same time. These processes are more about distracting you from resistance than they are anything else. It's an interesting thing because most people, even after they've been listening to us for a while, believe that what creating or what deliberate creating is really about is about mind control. It's about making sure that every thought goes in the right place. Where what creating is, and they think that they need to do some goal setting or they need to take some action. He says, I've been doing the daily workbook. I'm really trying to focus myself. And what we are softly trying to convey to all of you is that you're doing the creative work without even knowing that you're doing it, because life just causes you to continue to create a very active and important and robust vortex version of yourself. In other words, you just cannot stop or cease for even a moment the creating of this vortex. And the vortex, which is the vibrational version of you that precedes the manifestation of things, this vortex version of you it's all self-empowered. It has the energy that creates worlds in it, and it's summoning you. In other words, you've done the work. If you've lived a moment in time where you, in your personal opinion, are able to perceive that you would prefer something to be a little bit different than it was before, you have launched a rocket and you have done the work. You have had an expansion of your beingness. And then 100% of what you do beyond that, and did we make it clear that that part is not something that you have to work at? In fact, that's not something that you can stop doing. Life is just going to evoke it from you. There's just a constant stream of, wouldn't this be better? This would be better. This would be better. This would be better, at a cellular level of your body all the way right up to your full functioning genius human mind. In other words, you cannot stop making more requests for improvement, and all of those requests are being held and are calling you toward the improvement. So 100% of your work and 100% of every process that we have offered to you has been with the thing in mind of helping you to close the gap. This process will help you to release a little resistance, which will let the vortex take you in this way. And this process will help you release a little resistance, so the vortex will take you in this way. So we just want to be very clear here that the work is already done. This vortex is real time. It's a done deal. If we could convince you of that, if there was some way we could zap you, seems like it would be nice from your point of view, although it would take all of the fun out of it for you. Really, it would. But if we can just convince you that what you want is already there, and more importantly, it is vibrationally done, and your work is just to stop doing the thing you do that keeps you from experiencing the full manifestational doneness of it, then our work here would be complete with you. We could just get together and eat. Sort of follow that?
Yeah, very much so.
So the work you're doing with the workbook or the work that you're doing with any process that we offer is just the soothing of yourself to allow the real work that you've already done. And what's that work? You identified it. You identified it through the synthesizing of life experience. You identified it precisely, not in general terms. You've identified it in specific terms, specific unto you. In other words, your vortex is your unique creation of you. You are the creator of you. You are the creator of you in relationship to your body, you in relationship to others, you in relationship to money, you in relationship to life. You are the creator of you, you see. And so as you just chill, which is hopefully what these processes do for you, then you just get closer and closer to having, and what's the goal in all this? Closer and closer to having more and more vortex moments where you are allowing the manifestation of what you've put there. Real time. Don't you love it? We've been talking about how the contrast causes you to put it in the vortex, and it makes it sound like it's over there and you're over here, and that's sort of kind of how we mean it. And then you do the releasing of resistance work, so the vortex then takes you in, and now you're in the vortex. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean to be in the vortex? It means you are in the position for manifestations to reveal themselves to you that would be counted by you as pleasing life experiences. You see how it works? You see how the vortex and your own life experience are one and the same? Is the vortex beginning to take on new life for you?
Yeah, very much.
It's not such a conceptual thing, although it is, because we had to find some way of helping you to distinguish the difference between the thought when you're not allowing the fullness of who you are and the thought when you are allowing the fullness of who you are. But the fullness of who you are is dependent upon how much willingness you have to sift through the contrast. Isn't that tricky? So Abraham, let's see if I got this right. I was in the vortex, and then I was born into my physical body where vortex was iffy. Pretty much. And then I sift through contrast, and the more I'm out of the vortex, the more I put in the vortex. Is that right? Pretty much. And the goal then is to get back in the vortex, right? Yeah. So why did I have to get out of the vortex in order to put more in the vortex so that I could get in the vortex? Because you would be very bored and very unexpansive and very lifeless if you weren't expanding. So the perfect recipe is contrast, grow the vortex, feel in your belly your relationship to it, work the vortex, and then get in there and spend most of your life reveling in the magnificent work you've done, all tuned in, tapped in, turned on, living life the way you intended to. Don't you love it?
Yeah.
Something more?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm so nervous. Whew. Wow. I just want to say thank you.
Did you say you're nervous?
Very nervous.
So what's up with that? What
I love you.
What does nervous mean? Nervous means
Excitement.
well, that's different.
Okay.
If you say I'm excited, that's different than nervous. You
It's
said
nervous.
So what does nervous?
I'm trying to convince myself it's just excitement.
Well,
But it's nervous. It's nervousness.
So nervous means I have a desire, but right now I'm of a mindset that makes me feel that my desire is not going. I want to articulate clearly. I might not. I want to ask a good question. I might ask a stupid question.
Wow, that's exactly it.
I might ask a really good question,
Wow.
and Abraham might give me a brilliant answer, and I might not get it. I might embarrass myself in front of this global audience, 76 countries, all 50
Wow.
states. We don't blame you for being nervous. This is really a tense time. We're just.
You're so right on, though. Every single
So what we're getting at is you.
Wow.
The reason that we waited for a little while for you is because, and it's one of the things that happens in these gatherings. The longer you listen to us, the more in alignment you come, and it's really a normal thing for you to be sort of out of whack a little bit. But go general. This is the thing we want. We've played with you a little bit, and you're less nervous now. They've all laughed with you, and you're less nervous now. But just go general by, hey, I sort of know this stuff, and I'm as clear-minded as anybody else, and I have some things I've really been thinking about, and this is a good opportunity for me to get some clarity here. And I've listened to Abraham for a while. They're infinitely patient with everyone, sort of sarcastic and saucy sometimes, but for the most part, they've never beat anyone up. I've never seen anyone crying and running from the room. So the odds are it's going to go pretty well here. And I've been sitting with this for a while, and I'm pretty clear about what I want, and unfortunately, we've used all your time. So now, you're not nervous at all now, are you?
A lot less nervous. Thank you so much.
Yes.